Yo YouTube, what's up? I'm coming back at you guys. This is CowboysNation22. Come back at you guys once again with another commentary video. NBA 2K12 again, but this is actually a new series I'm going to be doing. I made a new my player. And no, I'm not stopping my other one. Will Gordon, my real life name, like the one I'm trying to base myself off of. No, that's my best one. That's like my serious one, like the one I pull my try hard pants all the way up on, you know what I'm saying? So that's the one that I'm mainly focused on still. But this one is actually I made a center, okay, and his name is Shaq Jr. So I tried to base him off of Shaq, of course. Um, so in this video, you can see all the contract negotiations where I got drafted to, teams that interviewed me after the rookie challenge or whatever you want to call it. I didn't show that game. Honestly, I don't even know why, but I didn't. So, I'm not stopping my Will Gordon one. Trust me, that's still my main one. We're about to go to the playoffs into that one, but this is just a little fun one and he's a center, so I don't usually play center on my player. Point guard, of course. So I usually play point guard. So this is just a little fun one. So I hope you guys can enjoy it. So kick back, relax, and have a good time. All right, peace.
Tonight, your play really impressed us, so much so that we're considering using our pick on you if you're available when our turn comes up. Before we get that far, we'd really like to ask you a couple of questions. Question number one. We really feel like we have a great piece in Andrew Bogut. We think that given a chance to develop, you and Andrew can form a potent front line for this team. What do you think about that assessment?
I think Andrew and I have a somewhat similar game. I'd like to think I have a much higher ceiling than him, as far as talent goes. Look, I'll tell you what I'm telling the other teams. You can't go wrong drafting me. I'm a worker. I give 100%.
Next question. We realize that here in Milwaukee, we don't have the appeal of a Los Angeles or a New York or a Miami. We tend to look for players who would be proud to be part of this organization. Someone who can really take pride in being a Milwaukee Buck. Someone who's willing to spend their entire career as a Milwaukee Buck. Are you that person?
To be honest, I'm a big city kind of guy. I don't think Milwaukee has the vibe I'm looking for, know what I mean? I don't have anything against Milwaukee at all. I'm sure you guys have a great organization and a great fan base. It's just not for me, all right?
Well, I can see that we are not a match, unfortunately. Good luck to you on draft night. Good job out there tonight. I really appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time. We have the 8th pick in the draft and are interested in your talents. We just want to pick your brain a little before we decide. Let's get to it. The front court is an area where I think we really stand to improve the most. Our scouts are just absolutely in love with your game, so I need to make sure you're a good fit for us. We pride ourselves on our defense in Detroit, and frankly, I want to get your thoughts on defense and how it is played in today's game.
People don't respect defense in today's game. That being said, I feel like my game is putty. It can be molded into whatever coach needs out of me. If he needs me to be a defensive stalwart, I can do that. If he needs me to be the go-to guy, I can do that too. Look, I want you to know that I'm not just sitting here telling you what you want to hear. This is how I roll.
All right then, one more. The team that we built here in Detroit was a rebuilding effort that didn't quite pan out. Obviously, it's difficult to predict the future, but I expect to see a fair amount of roster turnover as we work towards retooling the lineup for another rebuilding effort. How comfortable would you feel coming into a situation where the roster is in a state of flux?
It sounds to me like you guys are thinking about starting over again. If that's truly your intention, I'm not really interested in being part of a rebuilding project. I've only got so much time in this league, and I don't have any intentions of throwing away years from my career. It's nothing personal against you or the organization, but I'm just not interested in coming to Detroit. Sorry.
Thanks for answering our questions. I don't know that we're a fit for you at this time. We'll need to discuss internally. I'll be in touch.
Hello, and nice to meet you. I'm the Director of Player Personnel for the Utah Jazz. My scouts have expressed a lot of interest in you. Before I can give my blessing to use our draft pick on you, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions, to make sure you'd fit in with what we do here. We really feel like we have some nice young pieces in Derek Favors and Al Jefferson. If you were to join the Utah Jazz, where would you see yourself fitting in with those guys?
I think Favors and I have a somewhat similar game. I'd like to think I have a much higher ceiling than him, as far as talent goes. I'll tell you what I'm telling the other teams. You can't go wrong drafting me. I'm a worker. I give 100%.
Let's see. One more question, if you don't mind. If you were a GM, where would you draft yourself in this draft?
It'd be a real honor to go lotto. Know what I mean? As a player, you work your entire life for this day. You dream of putting on that hat, walking up to the podium and shaking Mr. Stern's hand. To be recognized as one of the first players drafted, that's a reward I definitely want for all the work I've put towards this.
That's great. Those answers were music to our ears. With any luck, you'll fall to us in the draft.
Alright, y'all, so this is the NBA draft. We're getting ready to go do this. I fast forwarded through most of, pretty much all of the picks until up to mine. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see where I get drafted, you see the pre-draft rankings, so I'm just going to fast through all of these until I get to mine. Alright, guys.
Good evening and welcome to the 2011 NBA Draft. Tonight is the culmination of the efforts for some of the world's most talented young players. It is a time for their dreams to be realized and to be welcomed to the elite group of players that are called NBA players. We thank all of you for joining us on this exciting night, whether you are watching on television or following us online. And finally, a big thanks to all the fans here in the building for providing this wonderful atmosphere. Now let's get going. With the 10th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Jimmer Fredette from Brigham Young University. With the 11th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Klay Thompson from Washington State University. With the 12th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select the 20-year-old big man from Louisiana State University.
That right there, I was like, oh shit. Because, the Jazz already have Paul Millsap and Al Jefferson as big men, so that didn't fare well for me. But, I'm content with, I wouldn't say I'm happy with them, I'd say I'm content with the Jazz right now. So we'll see how I do with them. All right, guys, I'm out. By the way, here's the billboard. Peace. Look at my face, all scrunched up. Alright, guys. Peace.